Okay, right, today we are, well, hopefully repairing the motors. Now they're vacuum wipers. They run off a vacuum pump on the fuel pump, which is operated by a cam on the camshaft. So they don't work when the engine's not running, basically. Now this one did work a little bit, but it doesn't anymore. That one's never worked since I've owned this truck, which is about 3 months. So yeah, so I pulled both of them out and take them back to the workshop. Right, now I figure the best place to start is to take the wiper arm off of here. So I'll try and take that cap, rip that cap open and see how this comes off. I have no idea because I've never taken one off before. Okay, so let's see. We can. I'm thinking I'll bat this nut off one way. It should enlighten me to how this comes apart. Don't know how way it is. I've probably got hands in the shop that bat this off. Hopefully we'll be able to get, yeah, that looks to be the job. There we go. Screws in there. Let's see if we can, yeah, there we go. There that comes. Oh, I see. I see. This is actually all one piece. This ferrule spins inside this nut. But you can see how it locates inside it there. Pull this nut off. Okay, right, let's take this panel off then. There we go, literally screws. Right. Pipe out. I'm putting it on there, taking the trim pieces off to have a look at the pipework because I don't know how it's been in here. It's probably been cut by now. It may have been replaced recently, but so you have a look, you just don't know. And here it is. The motor, this is the part that sticks out the front. So the pipe goes on and this is the switch, which you can see simply moves in and out. Operates the valve inside, so we'll pull the other one out and then we'll take them over to the workshop and have a squeeze of what they look like inside. Okay, right, so we're back in the workshop. Now, obviously we've got both motors here. This one is missing the handle off, but I've got it right here. It's right here. They actually screw on, but this one the thread's knackered in it, so I think we'll just glue that one back on, and that should be fine. There's no reason for it to come off, so yeah, we'll just hand in the shot. We'll just glue that back on. So. Driver side one apart first now. I think we'll pull this cover off first and then we'll look at this switch. I don't think I need to pull this off first. Looks to be a part of the think my light may need charging. I'll just have to move this one in for better lighting. So yeah, this whole switch seems to be integral to this top plate, so we'll put it off now. I think I might need to pull this plate off first, so if my screwdriver fits in the slots, which it does, carefully unwind this, and at some point I may swap these out and upgrade to the later electric wipers, but really that's only if I have some major problem that I can't fix, I can't get parts for whatever it is. For the most part, I'm kind of loath to do that because these are original to the vehicle. This is what it was built with, and the fact that it's managed to keep them all this time and nobody's upgraded them. I don't know, I kind of feel like it'd be wrong to do that now. Next to me, like this part is loose, so this should, there we go, come off now. Or make it all the way off or not, it should do. Right, let's have these screws off. That's what it looks like behind that cover. I'm not entirely, this, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that is exactly. Some form of, almost like a switch really, but let's pull these screws out. Dun, 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 dun. It's an ID number into various archives, and they can't find anything, so I think we can generally safely assume that its service records don't exist anymore, which is a shame. It would have been nice to have seen, you know, where it had been, what it had done, but although I suspect not a lot, as it does only have about 3,000 miles on it. There we go, that's it apart. Now, the gaskets, as you can see, don't look too awful bad. Maybe that one's a little worse. Certainly a lot of you can see sort of some grease in there now. Oh yeah, that isn't easy to manoeuvre that. Yeah, I think the first thing really is to continue to pull this apart. We're going to clean all that grease, that gummy grease off. That's probably not helping. God knows how long it's been in there. We'll see if we can get these gaskets off without destroying them, because I mean, I suppose it wouldn't be terrible to make some new ones ourselves. If we managed to even pull these ones off in half decent condition, we could quite easily make our own. So yeah, let's get, I'm thinking a Stanley knife blade should do that quite nice. Let's help us scrape them off without damaging them. There we go, nice sharp one. We'll just this bit, the piece I'm under is already loose, so we'll just gently, but for the most part it's loose. I just don't want to leave a portion of the gasket behind if I can help it. And there we go, there's one gasket. Pop that there. And we will pull the one off of the cover as well. There we go. And that's the other one. So I think the next thing to do is we'll pull the switch off and have a look at, must be some form of valve in there obviously, as it does run on vacuum, and the vacuum comes in here. You see the various pathways in here.
so I'll have this on. Right, that looks like a rubber gasket in here. Okay. I think next thing to do is get in here and pull this spring apart now. Looks like it's hooked around there and onto there. So I don't know what part of the mechanism we're going to be pulling out of where really. It's all pinned together. Okay, right, let's grab those pliers out. Thinking it's pinned in down here, so grab hold of, yeah, there we go. And the whole mechanism slides off. And then can be disassembled. So we'll pop that there, and then hopefully that does mean this whole gubbins comes out. Ooh. Doesn't look in great nick if we're being frank. So, get some rag. And some of this goo off of here because it is sticky. It's old grease bollocks, so it's been in there quite a while. Now, not sure what grease it is and if grease is actually what's supposed to be in here. I don't know whether these have been apart before and have been rebuilt at any point. I would have thought probably have done in the last 70 years. I mean, imagine something not being pulled apart for 70 years. So, let's have some of this grease out of here. My main goal is to get these working. Unfortunately, I don't really know until I install them again and run the engine. As I said, they run off a vacuum pump, which is part of the fuel pump, and that operates off a cam, a lobe on the cam, basically, off the camshaft, and as such, it doesn't work unless the engine is running. So you have to run the engine in order to test them. That's it vaguely cleaned up, bar this piece. Now, this is smothered in grease. I'm baffled at why somebody thought it needed to be smothered in this much grease. And I mean, it's pretty hard now. God knows how long it's been in there. I don't know what I'm going to lube this back up with. Probably not grease. Or if I do, it'll probably might be a silicone grease or a lithium grease. The problem is it's old rubber, so I don't know what will or won't degrade the rubber, and it's probably pretty hard now anyway. Yeah, I can feel it. It's reasonably hard. I don't know how hard it was to be fair to begin with, and I don't know what kind of rubber it is. It's hard to see, to be honest. This is disgusting. Let's be honest. It's disgusting. We all know it's disgusting. Grease is horrible. I hate grease. It's bad enough I have to grease the prop shafts of the truck up and other parts of the truck up. And a grease gun isn't a terrible thing, but it's still grimy and grubby. Oh, I'm getting grease freaking everywhere. Right. Now, besides just being greasy and gunky, I don't know if there's actually anything inherently wrong with this. And this is the one that worked. And I do wonder if it's just got really gunky. Yeah. pull apart as well. Okay, right, well, yeah, I'll have to clean it up a bit better, but I think that'll do for now. Okay, just pulled this one apart. This one actually felt quite sticky. Now I've pushed on it, I've freed it up, and it moves quite nicely, but still got quite a bit of this. It's almost congealed grease in there, and it doesn't look too great down there. This is a top cover. It definitely looks worse than the other. Part of me wonders if this other one, the driver's side one, perhaps has been apart before, or is perhaps a slightly newer one. Doesn't look anywhere near as disgusting as you can see. So I've wiped some of the old grease off of that, but it looked fairly clean and tidy, whereas this one looks a bit more disgusting. So now the fun of cleaning. Okay, so that's parts all about as clean as I'm going to get them. I do actually have driver side, passenger side. There actually, it's not just a jumble of all the bits and hope that the right bits go back together. No, I did actually separate them out. So time to assemble. Okay, that's one put back together. Now for the other one. So from what I've done a bit of reading while I've been doing this, and from what I've read, I've read several things. You know, like putting automatic gearbox oil, you know, some of that in there to replenish these, or various oils, including, you know, some form of, you know, like machine oil or general purpose oil. So I'm going in with some general purpose oil in this cheap nasty oil can, and see, so this spring goes on here like that, so the whole component's like that. Now I remember how to assemble this, so the brass piece goes on first, then have this little piece which actually locates on this shaft and goes through that, so that goes on there, it hooks on there, and then we come in, put this top hook in the sprung piece, and then this along with that shape locates in the brass piece here. So I'm doing a terrible job of filming this. There we go, like that, and then that flicks from side to side. Now gaskets, I mean, these ones aren't terrible, could possibly stand to be replaced, but we shall see how we go with these ones to begin with. At the end of the day, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it don't. This is the one that had been working, so I'm reasonably confident that this strip and rebuild should hopefully get this one working again. The other one, I mean, if it does, it does. Great. If it doesn't, it's not totally the end of the world. At the end of the day, it's a passenger side. How often do I look out the passenger window? Passenger side windscreen? Not very often. So, right. Where am I? Oh, before we do that, we are going to, we'll take, no, I'll leave that one on. Reassemble all of the switch. So, we start out with the gasket. I suppose it's the sealing part of the valve. A little bit of oil on there. I'll smear it down that side. A little smear down the other side. Just a light film. It's kind of obvious which way it goes because of the you can see the holes, they match up with the holes that are in the top cap, so that goes on there like that. And then we can cheat and use this one for reference. And put this piece on the right way round, which is that way around. Then we have our sort of spring clip, which goes on that way, I do believe. Then we have our valve, the handle, that's the valve down there, dummy. That goes on there like that, sort of makes a little sandwich. And then we have these screws that go through the whole lot. Now these you'll see they have a threaded portion, and then they have a straight section. So basically you screw these in until they're bottom out, and that provides the correct tension on the system through the use of that the flat spring in there. There we go. Right, tighten these down, but not too tight. You don't want to break it at the end of the day. And we're already screwing it up. You can see what we've done wrong there. This little protrusion goes through that slot. If you tighten down it when it's not in the slot, you ain't going to get very far. So we'll slacken it off before we do any damage. There we go. It's popped in where it needs to be now. There we go. Tighten the other side up. Woo! Butterfingers. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That seems to be a working switch. It does have a slight bend in the arm, I might add. Oh well. Still works, that's the main point. Right. There we go. That should hopefully work. Right. Pop you in there and gently, there we go. Install the screws. So the last thing really is just this cover on here, and then this little piece, which is basically it's almost like an adapter basically, but there's almost like a washer, and then the nut that goes on the end of here which screws on through here, and there's a identical slot in the cab, and basically it locates the wiper and stops this from spinning when it tries to move the wiper arm. So that needs to go on there, so we'll pop that on there. And then this was over the top. You can actually see that slot in this as well. So that was on there. The other one didn't have it on, which must mean it's in the truck still. So screwing the smaller screws on the mechanism back in. Now, I enjoy pulling things like this apart. I don't do it enough, to be honest. Although over the course of owning this truck, I can see me doing quite a bit of it. Need to glue this handle back on. I was thinking super glue, but I don't have any in here. I do believe my super glue is back in the house, so I think some epoxy should sort that and hold that on. There you go. Some Gorilla epoxy. Just a little bit, and we shall use this clean-ish standing off blades to mix it up, as it is important with epoxy to thoroughly mix it. Part A and part B. So we shall give that a good mix in. Right. More in here. It's quite a deep hole in this, so okay, forward and then more. Need this to dry. Really, it's going to be a few days. Today is Tuesday evening, 11 o'clock. I've had work all day, hence I'm in here late, trying to get this done. Oh, there we go. Nice bit of squidging out. There we go. And wipe off the excess. There we go. Okay, so we're back in the truck, and it's now time to reinstall the wiper motors. So we'll start with the driver's side one. This one goes up in there. Yeah, it's nice and easy. It's only really one nut and 2 screws pretty much, and that's it. So we'll get on with it. Right, now it's just this sort of washer with the little leg sticking out a bit, which locates the whole thing. That in there, and then our nut over the top. There's a seal in there which I'm compressing slightly. I think that feels pretty solid. So now we've just got the wiper arm to put in to install, if I can. If you remember earlier in the video, I pulled this all the way out by mistake, whereas you only actually had to loosen it to slide it on and off. Now, right, let's put this on there. I've moved this so that it should be in essentially the straight down position, so let's slide that on there and then go find the right size spanner. Okay, we've got the right spanner. And the fun of doing this up while looking through the camera, tight is probably that way. There we go. Now just the other one to do. This wiper arm is the spring tension in it isn't great. I think I might oil it's sort of like a flat spring that runs over a roller in there, but I don't know, might be right. Find out with a bit of rain on there. As you can see, we've had plenty of rain. In fact, all the water's out up there. Got to get all that off. Right, onto the one over there. Okay, yeah, not much in the way of success. It had, yeah, you can see it